What's going on, guys? Bart here with Tully Television, and today we're going to be getting into a comic book review, and it's going to be one of these one-shots that kind of start wrapping up the SINS of Sinister storyline that happened over the last few months. This is called Sons of X, and we see our boy Nightcrawler here with Mother Righteous. Now, we're going to pick up here. There's going to be a couple things that we take away from this issue. And one of the more important takeaways from this is that the Legionnaires, the Legion of X team, for the time being, is going to be disbanded. Unintentionally and intentionally, and the David and Kurt wind up having to, in their own ways, disband the team and do their own thing for the time being, to for the betterment of Krakoa, for the betterment of their people. But before we get into all that, I want to thank all of you for stopping by, liking, commenting, sharing. I hope that today is the day we earn your subscription here at Tully Television. The march to 300 subscribers continues, where a random subscriber will win a group or a lot of comic books, as they're affectionately called a lot, meaning multiple comic books in a grab bag type of situation. That's what we'll be doing this giveaway milestone. But let's get into it. This falls into the Fall of X story that's going to happen from now till the end of that story. This issue is called Run It Again. And basically, we see, we start off with David Haller fighting someone. We see some mutants acting awry. We see Banshee making his way to the altar. We even see Nightcrawler here leaving a crime scene. Now, Banshee in this issue, when the timeline was reset at the end of Sinister Dominion, he was separated from his spirit of variance, Fox Ignis, and how that wound up happening is that when Mother Righteous downloaded all that information from the 1,000 years she spent from into the future, she had to use that spirit of variance entity, the magic that came with that, the faith that Fox had in her, all that, and inside all those variables inside the spirit of variance to help bring that information back to her present self so she can know how to take advantage of certain situations. And Banshee kind of learns this throughout the issue, because he has no memories of being Fox Ignis. He doesn't even really have many memories of, even from what I'm understanding, what Moira did as far as skinning him and wearing his face as a mask to enter Krakoa. He seems to not remember all that. So that's where he's going to kind of stand at the end of this issue, trying to figure out where to go from here after losing so many months of his life. We see David Haller, a.k.a. Legion, trying to run simulations with his girlfriend, Ruth, to try to see if he can beat Nimrod, because Nimrod and here's the rest of the Legionnaires team. Forget me not. If you didn't forget me not. He died at the end of Legion of X number 10. Everyone had forgotten about him, but he sacrificed himself to help save Krakoa and his team. Why Legion is running these tests is because when Nimrod and Orcus came to try to take over Krakoa, and Warlock and Cypher helped disrupt that link, Warlock happened to blend in to Nimrod, and Nimrod is thinking that, he's in control of the Warlock entity in him, but chances are that we're going to eventually see a mix between Warlock and Nimrod. I also found out that this version of Nimrod's origin, it was that someone's husband who had died, she tried to insert his personality, his brain patterns into Nimrod, but that didn't really last too long. But I'll touch on that in a little bit at the end of this issue. But yeah, Blindfold has been helping David, and they kind of show him that who's behind his recent loss of memory and changes. And they happen to go to where Mother Righteous is at and wants help releasing the rest of the team that is in the hands of Orcus, which currently include Dr. Nemesis, Pixie, Nightcrawler, and Black Knight. The current iteration of Black Knight, the female version, Dan Whitman's daughter. Mother Righteous explains what happened in the future, how she used Fox Cygnus to return, and she also showed David part of his future and explained how he tried to ascend after everything with Sinister was happening, and that him and the rest of mutant kind ascended into the skies. Now, the main reason why they're saying that David Haller is not going to be able to beat Nimrod on his own is that the mind is able and willing to try to adapt to what's going on, but his physical body is not going to be quick enough or fast enough to match the tenacity and ferocity of Nimrod in any sort of hand-to-hand combat. And so, not knowing what to do, Mother Righteous says that she'll take care of everything, help release the team, help defeat Nimrod, and all David has to do is thank her. And he agrees. Now, the reason why she wants David more so than anything else is because he has all these personalities in his head, and each personality has a unique set of powers. So Mother Righteous feels like she doesn't need a bunch of people to keep giving her things. She just needs the one person with many people inside of his mind, and she thinks that that could give her just about, if not more power, because of the potential that David has with each personality that he has and how powerful they are. As David, he's fine, but he could be someone named Megan and kind of have a not nice attitude towards the world and life. And then the next thing, he could be Bob, who's a little boy. And each one of those three people will have a different, not only different personality, but different power. So that's why she seems to be locking in on David so much, since she's appeared Now we wind up in the Orcus, like basically station, and they're getting ready to do experiments and this and that on their guest. And Mother Righteous, as David is finding Kurt here, Mother Righteous is fighting Nimrod, and one of the things that this was what I was talking about earlier with Nimrod. Who was it that they tried to? But the story happened in X-Men number 20, where they show them trying to give Nimrod a soul, so to speak, or a humanity within himself. So Legion is looking for the rest of his team, and if we remember, Kurt, the reason why Kurt was so important was because he's the most optimistic, most hopeful out of all of them, that things will work out. That's why they would call him the Spark, you know what I mean? And at the end of Legion of X, when Morgellus withdrew all his hope and formed it into a sword, and she was also the one that made this spell for all the other mutants to turn into these monstrosities. We forget that even Archangel turned into one near the end of Legion of X. And basically what we have here is Legion getting his team, saving his team, getting his little buddy. And then she tells Nimrod about all her experiences of going into the future and seeing him fail and everything. But she tries to tell him that he doesn't need to fail if she decides to, if he decides to team up with her. She's always playing some form of long game. So she's here helping the Legion team, but it's also to try to get David under her thumb. So imagine if she has him and then is able to manipulate Nimrod into serving her as well. It'd be pretty crazy. There's also the four. It's called the Sinister Four or the Four, in which we even see Mother Righteous talking one of the other Sinisters to try to get him going under her rule too. But we'll see how that is. But basically, we run into Kurt's mother, who we've had full experience with here on the channel back in his own title from 2004. But here she beheads David and sends everyone out to space and wants to bring Kurt back home. And Mother Righteous is like, nope. I know we had a deal, and I know I promised you this, I promised you that, but I actually want the Hope Sword, and this is going to be my price to keep for helping everybody. And she winds up either destroying Morgellus or sending her back to the dimension that she's from. But with David's powers and everything, the beheading doesn't do anything, I guess. And so now everyone's officially saved. And Mother Righteous brings everyone back to the Savage Land so she can do a spell that breaks all of the curse that Morgellus got. But it seems like Dr. Nemesis is mad that he gets to become like a living fungal planet and doesn't get to how dare they don't let him do this and everything, and they wind up killing him and killing everyone else to they resurrect him to shake the spell, and it works. And so we see everyone here trying, getting together again, and Legion finally makes his plea, and well, Mother Righteous tries to make her play and get David, and tells him what her plan is of creating a dominion, and that not only did he go to the sky, but he's swallowed by something, and but she's trying to do the dominion thing before her other clones get to do, her other sinister brethren. But David knew this whole time what she was up to, and with the help of the Legionnaires, decide to attack Mother Righteous and attempt to take her out. While him and the Legion team are fighting her, what Blindfold is doing is she's removing everything from the altar, all his personalities, out of David's mind, so that excuse me, that if Mother Righteous plan works, there would be no reason for it to work if she was able to get her hands on him, because there's nothing there to control anymore. And at the end, she gets so mad she winds up blasting everyone away. They're able to get the Hope Sword back and give it back to Kurt, and that was it. The Mother Righteous plan didn't work out. She goes and licks her wounds. Everybody gets resurrected again. But everyone's memories seem to not be there of the last few moments of what really happened in the Savage Land. So that is still secret. Xavier is asking Kurt if he knows where David went to after that, because they can't seem to find him or Blindfold. So now David is MIA missing in action. Kurt and Banshee are talking in a bar here. So Banshee, like I said, is still trying to figure out what happened in the last few months of his life. We see Cyclops and Kurt here talking, and Kurt is explaining to Cyclops after he shows this painting that Weaponless Zen made. And she paints the truth, so to speak. And what his current truth is that he has to leave Krakoa, also leave behind his Legionnaires, leave behind his X-Men family, because while in the control of Orcus controlling him, they made him eliminate Minecraft, take out world leaders. And it was him. He was not in control of his body, but between the plan that Orcus made to make mutants look bad and other entities trying to make mutants look bad, this is even a bigger hit for the X-Men, and it's up to Kurt to find out how to clear his name, and we're going to find that out after the summer when September hits and the Uncanny Spider-Man comes out, starring Kurt as a version of Spider-Man, so to speak, and he'll be going up against some old Spider-Man foes, I guess, but we'll see how this goes. Thank you for sticking with me. I hope that you enjoyed this issue. And until next time, peace, Snookums.